All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Dares TV. I'm back with another review, and this one is of Ray Donovan, the movie. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. So let's already start with this review. Okay, so earlier this year, I saw the Ray Donovan, basically like a TV movie, and man, it was an interesting one. I'm a huge fan of Ray Donovan. The show that was on Showtime, I was a huge fan of it. I was kind of late to the show. I started watching it maybe in 2014, I believe. I had to sort of binge watch it a bit, but I always thought the show was pretty good. I felt like it had potential to really go above and beyond, with the writing. Sometimes I feel like the show never really met its peak. Around the end of the series, the last season, when they went the new family, the Sullivans. I would have preferred there to be more of like a war between both families. I would love to see that, but they completely went a different route. The season was pretty good. It was getting better and better, but that was originally going to be the last season, and I was like, I really hope the show didn't end like that. I personally would prefer if they would have had another season of Ray Donovan, but they decided to wrap everything up with the movie, which there's only so much you can really do with just with a TV movie, but let's get into review. So basically, it started off with a punch. We have Ray talking on the phone and saying that he killed his father. So we sort of have one of them things where they're going to go back and show the events of how the intro started. They have a funeral for Smitty, and Bridget basically loses another lover. We know that earlier in the series she was with the one kid Marvin Gaye, and he got shot in the neck by Cookie, and so she had to go through suffering dealing with another lover gone. In that crossway shooting they had, the crossfire, shooting they had, and he actually got shot in the neck too, kind of similar to her previous boyfriend. So the Donovan brothers, they were drinking and happy, and then Bridget brings them pretty much back to reality, reminding them about Mickey and having to deal with him, sort of when they were sitting up, you know, talking and drinking after Smitty's funeral. Ray would still sleep with Molly after he knows that he killed her father. That was pretty interesting of Ray to do that. He would still sleep with the girls, still sleep with the guy's daughter who he killed. It's yeah. Well, Ray's flashbacks is a small child swimming and him as a teenager in church with the evil priest. That was a nice callback. Like those callbacks that they had. Bringing back to the original priest that he was abused by. We know what happened to him earlier in the series, so they have a. I like that they brought sort of a callback to that. Young Ray and Mickey fighting outside of Ray's sister's funeral. They're just showing you just how detrimental their relationship is and how it all completely unfolds in this TV movie. I love those callbacks. As tough as their relationship is, we see the history of it from when he was a teenager, from when he was a kid, just all these different interactions to see how it leads up to where it's at now. I love those the way they're combining everything from their history to the present. I like how they did that in the show. Let's see. Mickey even sleeping with Ray's girlfriend in a flashback. That's Mickey for you, sleeping with his own son's girlfriend. Kind of similar to what Frank did in Shameless. So I'm not gonna get too much into that, but anybody ever watched Shameless, about. Anyway, um, we see a young Abby and Ray talking at the bar. That was interesting to just throw in a young Abby. You don't even know this is gonna be his future wife, and he's talking to his future wife as his current girlfriend is sleeping with his dad. Yeah, so also shout out to Karen from Shameless if anybody catches that reference. Mickey goes back to Boston to bring the show back to his roots. After all the events of the final season of Ray getting of Mickey getting that suitcase and his whole family just sort of turn against him. Even what's that one son's name? Daryl pointing a gun at him. He sees that he's all pretty much alone, so he goes back to Boston. Bring the show back to his roots. I like that. Young Mickey makes a reference to Ezra Goldman. He was an old friend of Ray's, as we can see. He ended up passing away earlier in the series. Mickey even suggests Ray should be a bodyguard. I like that. So they're showing sort of the events of how he Ray became who he was in the beginning of the series. So I like these little callbacks they have and stuff like that. I always feel that this TV movie does a better job of flashbacks than Many Saints of Newark, did. That the movie that they had. their prequel movie. I feel like this one did just an overall better job at writing a prequel. I feel like with flashbacks and callbacks to characters, I think they did a better job than Many Saints in Newark did. Honestly, well, there's definitely a review coming for that too. Be on the lookout for that. But I'll talk about that when we get to that though. But Ray chasing after Mickey. So there's this scene where Ray is, he's basically spending a whole TV movie hunting after Ray. I mean, hunting after Mickey. So he chases after Mickey. He gets caught up in a trap. He ends up grabbing his notorious bat to escape. Classic Ray Donovan with the bat. Plus he has to, and he was also close to killing Mickey. After the whole car crash thing of him, Mickey trying to get in contact with these other Irish guys, and I guess they were, from what I remember, they were trying to kidnap Mickey, and Ray chases after them, and he gets it bad, and he almost got close to killing Mickey, but his gun was empty, which is ironic because it's really going to be important for at the end of this TV movie. Mickey still tries to do business with the Sullivans after basically his son ended up killing their brother. So yeah, that shows you how Mickey desperate he is. All the black suits the Donovans were wearing, they look kind of like a mob family, with all the black suits they were wearing. I think that honestly, this show probably would have been better if they would have went around that route. The closer we got to seeing the Donovan family sort of being like a mob family was when in I think season 6 was it? I think yeah, it was season yeah, it was probably season 6 where they were battling against the cops and they had to had to get rid of that one cop's body. And they were all working together to get rid of the police. I've always loved the Ray Donovan show when the whole family works together dealing with an enemy. I've always felt that was way better. And they didn't really do that all the time. They would sometimes have other side storylines with different characters, like with Munchie, being a wrestler. I always felt the family is so much better when they work together for a common enemy, like a mob family. I've always felt they would be so much better if the series did that, but the writers had other things planned. Lena makes a return to help Daryl escape after, gunning down one of the members of the Sullivan family. Let's see, Teresa says to me. And then Teresa decides to maybe open the door for Bunchy to see his family again. So we see there's a possibility that Bunchy is going to probably get back to being in his family. Young Ray meets his future mentor Ezra. I like that. Call back to Ezra. I had a feeling that after Ray basically apologized to Molly, that she would shoot him after he leaves and he walks out, and then she calls him and he turns around and she just basically shoots him right in the gut. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Still shocking, but she like, hey, you killed my dad, and we don't know what could have came from that. I mean, it's a very powerful family they have, so we don't really know if she's ever gonna get revenge. So I guess she just shot him in the stomach. I guess being like, you're gonna die, and I don't know. Then the idiot Sean Walker, we see in a flashback, Sean Walker accidentally kills Ray's girlfriend. Ray is very calm, for his first time, fixing a problem at his age. He seemed like he was just clearly made for it, for somebody his age. He was very calm and mature. Mickey saves Ray, and they finally have a good moment, but Bridget ends up killing Mick. Wow. After getting shot in the gut, Mickey tries to comfort his son, and then Bridget just shoots Mickey. For the first time, Ray wanted him to live, which is ironic. He spends most of the whole episode, really the whole series, trying to kill Mickey, and the one time he wants him alive, he ends up getting shot. That was so shocking. Something like that does make me understand how this was ended up being a TV movie instead. It could have really filled in a lot of the blanks from the previous series, and maybe it would have been better with less is more. Because if it was a season, it would have been a whole nother season of Ray trying to kill Mickey and all this other stuff like that. So maybe making it a 2 hour movie probably was better. But yeah, he ends up the first time he ends up wanting his father alive, Bridget kills him, and even he's like, what'd you do? You killed my dad, even though technically I've spent the whole series trying to kill him. Yeah. So Ray goes to jail for Mickey's death because he clearly doesn't want his daughter going to jail, even though she did what she did. And after he set Mickey up for years for killing his girlfriend, it's kind of poetic. Mickey even dies similar to his ex girlfriend. I thought that was pretty ironic. And when Ray ends up covering for Sean Walker, he ends up setting his dad up to go to jail. So we see that's how Mickey ends up going to jail. And before in the beginning of season one, he ends up getting out of jail, and and it's kind of ironic that now Ray ends up going to jail for his daughter. It's just the irony of it. I love the way how they tied all those together. That was so interesting. Um, like I said, Mickey ends up, taking one to the head, kind of similar to, Ray's ex girlfriend that died at the hands of Sean Walker. So I loved it. It was so poetic how everything just sort of came full circle. I love that. Then Terry has a dinner, with his past family members while being alone. That was pretty shocking, and yeah, that's basically about it. I guess that Terry's gonna be by himself. Daryl is, I guess, out of the country, and Bunchy's going to possibly be with his family, and Ray is going to basically spend the rest of his life in jail. Bridget, I don't know what she's going to do. I guess she's just going to go on about her life. Most of her whole family is all divided. And where is Connor? Last time we heard of him, was he like in the military or the Air Force or one of those? Maybe the Navy, and he's just there. They just kind of wrote his character completely out. So I don't know. Most people, I guess, the fan base clearly are not cool with Bridget, but that was it. I always felt that the TV show Ray Donovan had the possibility of really going above and beyond with the writing. I feel like they always never felt like the show really met its peak. It always felt like it could have been better, but I'm happy they were able to end the show because most TV shows don't get a 2 hour movie. Usually they just end it. Being Barry Jane is one of them shows that were able to get a TV movie. And not all of them are able to do it. Some shows have a bad season finale, series finale, and that's it. So I'm happy the show was able to at least get a 2 hour movie. I would have preferred maybe a last season, but the way this writing was, maybe it would have been better for it to be just a 2 hour movie to tie everything up real quickly. So they couldn't tie up everything. Like I said, we have no idea where Connor is at. We just but I always thought the Ray Donovan show was a pretty good show, and I'll give this